Here I've got the Godfather from Enjoy Electronics. It's a really unique bit of kit this. It's like a super advanced 4-track summer mixer that's got 4 of their remainder delay units in it with their unique DPD circuit or dual pulse delay circuit, as well as a saturation circuit, high pass and low pass filter, compressor with sidechain so you can sidechain one channel with another. There's also an onboard reverb and that's got sends from each channel. It's down here. Plus we've got 2 LFOs that can have up to 2 different destinations, one global destination and a single pair track destination, so that keeps things dancing around nicely together. And on each of the 4 tracks we've got this little trigger button here, and this is used for inserting the delays or muting the tracks. It's a great live performance tool. And lots of these encoders have got push functions as well. Let's get out of that one. These buttons along the top access the various channel settings like the pan, compressor, the DPD circuit, the filter for the DPD circuit and the overall channel gain. And in the center we've got this really useful LED screen that shows you various things on each setting, obviously. And down here on the right we've got all our CV ins and outs, and yes, it is Eurorack compatible. It's been designed to fit this Moog rack with the DFAM, the Mother 32 and the Subharmonicon. I've got it sitting in here. So it's a powerful thing in more ways than one. It draws 900 milliamps. If that's too much power for your Eurorack system, you can turn the LEDs off and reduce the power to about 350 milliamps by removing a jumper at the back when you put it into your Eurorack case. But it's obviously not an issue at all if you're powering it in its case using the supplied power block like I am here. And it also comes with these 4 patch cables, which are all varying lengths, which just so happen to fit in the Moog rack really nicely, plus a couple of these TRS to MIDI adapters, one for in and one for output. And yes, it does use MIDI. We've got a USB on the back and you've got access to loads of the parameters via MIDI, so you can do loads of automation if you want via your DAW. And what you're listening to here is what we'll make during this video, well, the main synth line at least, which is based on a really simple arpeggio, which no doubt you'll be sick of by the time we get to the end of this. But stick with it because I go through all the main features: the delay, the DPD, the reverb, the filters, the LFOs, compression, sidechain compression, and the trigger modes, as well as some other bits probably. So sit back, relax, and get your Summon Mixer multi-effects geek on. Okay, taking a look at a single channel because they're all the same. From the left we've got main volume, and this encoder does all sorts of different things. As we'll see, we can click it. At the minute, when you're not on any other mode, it's just the volume, saturator. Not the best sound to show it on, and you do get little clips here and there, so there's a gain function, so you hit the gain knob and you've got -10 dB, or there we go. And we can see the LED indicator there, showing us exactly what's happening. Let's take it back down again. -3 was quite nice. Then we've got delay. This is just the delay volume. The delay settings are down here using these 3 knobs, and these are all global unless you push the knob, and then we push the knob and we're changing just channel 1 there. If we just twist the knob, we change them all. If we press 2 of them, we'll change 2 of them, or 3 of them. You get the idea. Feedback, so hit the knob and then we're just changing the feedback of channel 1. Feedback goes up to 100, but it doesn't go into self-oscillation, it just repeats and repeats, and that's a really handy function for later. I just stop that loop, carries on, and then we can clear that buffer by pressing the time encoder. There we go, start again. Got offset. Let's turn that feedback down a bit. So the offset, you can hear it offsets from left to right. Comes like a ping pong. Quite like this one on 2 or 3. And we get indication of the delays again on those LEDs. Let's turn it down for now though. We'll add the DPD, turn the offset off so we don't hear anything. No delays at all. DPD is the dual pulse delay. You can hear we've got 2 new delay lines in there. Press the DPD button and we can adjust those using the main encoder. Top one you just turn the encoder, and the bottom one you push and turn. It's quite nice. And interesting with these, the feedback has no effect. And that's why we can get these really nice, interesting patterns without it going muddy. So something like a BBD, for example, or a tape delay, you get all the different taps or all the different heads running round and round the loop. You don't get that in this. These two sit on their own as a separate thing. They've also got their own filter. Low pass, we turn it anti-clockwise, turn it clockwise gives us high pass. So bring in the original main delay. We add a bit more feedback to that. Stays nice and clear. We've also got a filter on the main channel. This filters the whole channel. Again, if we turn it past 0 clockwise, we get high pass. And low pass if we turn it to the left. So we can get nice sort of interactions happening between the DPD and the main one. If we just drop that filter a little bit, for example, go into the filter DPD, and make that high pass. Then add some reverb. So the reverb's global, set by these 3 knobs here. These are just sends on the 4 channels. There's one type of reverb at the minute, there may be more to come. Adjust the size. The amount. Nice, big and spacey as you like, or spacey as you need. And a filter on this as well. High pass, resonant. You can't change the resonance, it's preset, but nice that, isn't it? What else haven't we looked at here? Well, we've not looked at pan yet. Hit pan, left, right, and then we've got stereo spread as well if you push the encoder. So you can move things around the stereo field. Very nice. Let's put on full again. Reverb is remaining stereo because the reverb is global. Compressor, now this is very cool. So we're in compressor mode now. Change the values using the encoder. It's just change which value you're changing with the main knob over on the right. Just turn the makeup gain to 0 for now. Let's reduce the threshold. Add some ratio, or increase the ratio. Makeup gain. Saturation, attack, release, makeup gain, and SC isn't for Starsky car, it's for the sidechain. Currently, it's compressing itself as you normally would, but we can change it to 2, 3, and 4. So let's change it to 2, and I've got a kick going into 2 at the minute. So there we go. Nice, that isn't it? Let's make it a bit more reasonable. Go back, change that makeup gain. We're not hearing the kick that's compressing it, which is coming through here. So if I turn that up, in fact, let's add all the other little bits I've got on this loop. Nice, eh? Change the offset maybe? Hey, cool. Ah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Okay, shall we introduce some LFOs then? Let's go to LFO 1. Let's put it onto channel 1. So press channel 1 in and let's put it onto, should we put it onto the reverb of channel 1? Let's turn the amount up. So when we turn the encoder knob, we're turning it up and we can see what the LFO is doing there. Let's change the LFO rate, make it a bit faster. Maybe change that to the DPD. Nice, subtle that, but it's working. And we can have negative LFO. So if we just, you can see these LEDs here, we're now going to negative when I go from the 6 to 12 o'clock position. Let's put that back on the reverb, shall we? So it sounds like. Let's make it a bit faster, make it every beat. We can change the LFO by pressing shift and holding down the LFO knob. Let's put it onto a square. And let's reduce the rate there. I've got this synced at the minute. Take the sync off by pressing the LFO rate destination button down and hitting off. So you can have it free running. Goes all the way up to, well, from 0.2 Hz to 100 Hz. Not going to hit much there though. Let's change the destination on that again. sync back on. And you'll notice when I push the LFO button down and then change this knob here, we're changing the destination, the global destination. So now we're adjusting this filter. So let's put that maybe on a triangle. Let's make it a bit slower. Ah, that's nice. Loads of nice things you can do with this. So the next thing to look at, look at the reverb, look at the LFOs, is this trigger button here. Taking a look at what these trigger buttons do, then if we press shift, we're in normal mode, so signal comes in, it gets delayed as you'd expect. Press the button, add mode, so it won't do anything unless you press the button, and then it'll add the delay. Let's just try that. Nice little one-offs in performances, or if you put the feedback on 100%, I'll just add those little bits. And if we want to add more, just add more, so it just keeps on piling it on top. And a little bit of distortion creeping in. Nice stuff happening there though, isn't there? Let's take that kick out. And the second mode, or the third mode, is change. When we hit this, it will add new stuff to the buffer and get rid of what's in there. So it doesn't pile it on top, it just changes it. Now if we go to LFO 2, for example, this is pretty cool. We can change LFO 2 to on the master, reverb amount, filter, master level, and the mode. So it's changing the mode of these buttons. You can see LEDs are changing. Put that maybe on to a square. Change the amount. Just try and get it flicked between change and add. There we go. Just cool little interesting things, I think. Let's put everything back in again. Leave it back on constant maybe. And that is the Godfather from Enjoy Electronics. Only got one line running there, and the kick coming in as well. Try something on the kick, shall we? offset on 0, so it's central. Hit saturator. Beautiful. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly have. If you did, please think about subscribing, ring the bell, share, join me over on Patreon. Or take a look at my starskycar.com website. There's patches, there's stuff to download, there's free stuff, which is what everyone seems to download. But please pay for things, it really does help. And I will see you next time. And thanks for staying to the very end. Just gonna tweak that little synth sound a bit.